Netflix first announced its dive into mobile games in mid 2021 as part of a strategy to diversify their offerings and keep their users engaged amid growing competition. The service includes a collection of mobile games that are accessible to their subscribers at no extra cost. Netflix acquires rights to host these games, often licensing them from developers or purchasing game studios like Night School Studio, the developers of Oxenfree. Some of the games are existing mobile titles, while others are adapted for the platform. Netflix has also begun developing original games via its in house studios, which are often inspired by their original series, such as Into the Breach, Too Hot to Handle, and Stranger Things. Netflix likely pays upfront for licensing and development costs, similar to how it handles licensing content like films and TV series. This arrangement means that mobile game developers are paid regardless of the games being free to Netflix subscribers, which circumvents traditional App Store revenue models. In other words, the typical 30% commission that Apple takes from developers for all App Store transactions does not actually occur with these Netflix hosted mobile games because they're all listed as free to download in the App Store. However, you will be required to log in with your active Netflix account in order to continue. Before looking at one of these mobile games in the video, I want to give a nod to something that Netflix is doing right. It's something I find rather comical, given that Apple has been failing at this. If you navigate to the mobile games section of Netflix and click on some of the games, and then scroll to the info section at the bottom, you will see that Netflix has a dedicated field for controller support, which is filled in for each and every mobile game. Yes for has controller support, and no for does not have controller support. Meanwhile, on Apple's App Store, you will be lucky to see any indication of this, which leaves you guessing whether a title actually has controller support or not. That really irks me, which is why I keep calling attention to it and why I think it is comical that Netflix, a company whose focus is not on mobile games, is doing this correctly. Anyways, today I am trying out this Death's Door mobile game on my M4 iPad Pro. It is an action-adventure title that was first released in mid-2021 by developer Acid Nerve and publisher Devolver Digital. It debuted on Xbox and PC originally and then was later released for PlayStation and Switch. The game follows a crow working as a reaper tasked with collecting souls. However, things go awry when a soul is stolen, leading to an adventure through a dark prism-like world. The game features a top-down view, which I am particularly fond of, tight combat mechanics, exploration, and puzzle solving, which I am not particularly fond of. That said, the puzzles are relatively straightforward and do not disturb the flow of play too much. The gameplay involves strategic combat involving a mix of melee and ranged attacks, dodging, and environmental puzzles. It has a Metroidvania-style progression where players unlock abilities that allow access to new areas. From what I have read online, it typically takes about 10 hours to complete the main story. Netflix acquired the licensing rights to it in September 2023, meaning it has been available to subscribers for about a year now. As for how long it will remain available, this has not been disclosed. Generally, licenses are for fixed periods, meaning it will likely be removed from Netflix games and replaced by other titles at some point. That said, Death's Door has received critical acclaim, and it fits with Netflix's goal of offering a variety of quality mobile game titles, so it may remain on the platform for a while. This is my first time playing Death's Door, and I really enjoy it. I like top-down style action-adventure games as they remind me of Diablo, one of my favorite series. The gameplay mechanics are fluid and the difficulty feels right. Controller support is flawless with my Xbox Series S controller, and the controls are intuitive. The landscapes and color palettes are both interesting and somehow calming. It is a great title to just sit back and relax with, but could also easily be approached from a speed running perspective given how fluid everything feels. Death's Door is still available on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC via Steam, but if you want to play it on mobile, it is exclusive to Netflix games currently, meaning you will need a Netflix subscription to play it on your iPhone or iPad. That said, even the lowest, cheapest tier Netflix subscription includes access to the mobile games, which I think is around $7 right now. The low tier, which is called Basic with Ads, has advertisements while watching shows or films, but there are no advertisements in the mobile games. So, in other words, for $7 a month, you get access to Netflix's complete mobile games library, which has over 50 titles in Canada, all of which are listed on Netflix's website, though the available games may differ somewhat by region. There are other great games in there as well, some of which are rather significant. For example, they have the original Grand Theft Auto trilogy, all of which support controllers, as well as Hades, Oxenfree, Shovel Knight, Asphalt Extreme, and Farming Simulator, all of which are not small mobile games. If you have not experienced some of these titles before, then $7 a month is a pretty great deal. In addition to Death's Door, I also installed Hades and Asphalt Extreme, so I am going to give those a go next. But that is it for this one. See you later.